Hello, sixth graders. So today we're going to be starting a new topic. We're kind of skipping around a little bit. We're going towards the end of our book, and we're starting with topic 15. And topic 15 is all about statistics. Okay, so you've heard about range and mean and median and mode and all of that fun stuff before in previous grades. And we're going to kind of be talking a little bit more about that next week. Because before we can even get into that, we need to know what a statistical question is. Okay? In order to talk about statistics and to analyze data and organize it, we need to understand a statistical question. So we're going to look at some questions and we're going to see what these questions either have in common or what they how they differ. So we're going to look, what is the difference between these two sets of questions? So let's look at this first set on the left. Okay, we have what is the name of our school? Who teaches sixth grade math at LBI? How many inches are in a foot? And which team won the Super Bowl this year? So that's one chunk of questions. They're all related in one capacity. And then let's look at the other questions. It's how many siblings do you have? How far do you live from school? What color is your hair? And how many instruments you play? So think about those. Those are another set of questions that are related somehow. What do you think is the difference between these two sets of questions? Well, if I look at this left set, so on this left side, all four of those questions, if I were to ask what is the name of our school, well, anyone in our school would say, oh, LBI Grade School. If you were to ask who teaches sixth grade math at LBI, it's me, Miss Rothstein, okay? How many inches are in a foot? Which team won the Super Bowl this year? All of these questions only have one correct answer, okay? That's it. There's no other possibility except for that one correct answer, okay? Now let's look at the other set of problems. If you were to ask someone, how many siblings do you have? One person may say, oh, I have one, but another person may say they have 5, okay? If you were to ask how far you live from school, if you were to ask me, I would say, oh, I only live like a few miles, but someone may say, oh, I live over the bridge, okay? What color is your hair? Same thing, blonde, brown, red, black. How many instruments do you play? Okay, 5, 4, 12, none. Okay, so all of these questions have multiple answers, and all the answers are pretty different. Okay, so the one set of questions only have one correct answer. The other set, depending on who you ask, you're going to get multiple different answers. So these questions on the left are non-statistical, okay? Statistics, you want to analyze data. If you're only getting one answer, you can't really do much with one answer, so they're not statistical. But these ones over here are statistical, okay? Because you will get multiple different answers depending on who you ask. So the true definition of what a statistical question is, a statistical question, when asked, anticipates that there will be a variety of different answers. And there's a lot of key words in this definition, okay? Anticipates there'll be a variety. Variety means not just the same, okay? And it's going to be kind of spread out. So variety and then of different answers, okay? So knowing that, it is also not a yes or no question. Okay? Because yes, you can ask someone, do you like baseball? And one person could say yes, one person could say no, another one could say no. You are getting technically different answers because you're getting yes and no, but it is not a variety of different answers. It's just two answers multiple times. So a statistical question anticipates that there will be a variety of different answers. So let's look at some examples. We're going to tell whether these questions are statistical or not. So the first one, in which month is your birthday? If you were to ask a group of 10 people, do you think everyone would have their birthday in the same month? No. One person may be August, one person may be September, one person may be October. So knowing that those are a variety of different answers, yes, this is statistical. Okay? Now, if you were to ask someone who knows a Sue, does Sue wear glasses? Are you going to get a variety of different answers for that one? No. So that is not statistical. You're just going to get either yes or no. If you were to ask people who is the current president of the United States, are you going to get several different answers? No, there's only one president. Okay, so it's just a one correct answer. So it is also not statistical. Can't really analyze one correct answer. And lastly, how tall are the students in grade 6? Is everyone in grade 6 the same exact height? No, one person may be 4'5", one person may be 5'1". They've ranged. It's a variety of different answers. So that means, yes, that question is statistical. All right. So the last part of this, we're going to come up with a statistical question that you can ask in order to gather data on each of these topics. So the first one, it says, if you were to try to find the number of pets classmates own, what question could you ask to find that out? Don't overthink this one. You can literally ask, how many pets do you own? Simple as that, okay? You could ask a variety of different ways to say that, but the gist of it, you're just trying to figure out how many pets do they own. The next one, heights of different household plants. What question could you ask to figure out the heights of different plants in someone's house? You could ask, how tall are your plants? All right. You can say, how high do your plants go? What are the heights of your household plants? Any way that you phrase that question, as long as you're getting those answers. And the last one, cost of a meal at a restaurant. What could you ask? You can ask, how much does your meal cost? Or how much does the meal cost? Or how much money are you spending? Okay, again, some type of way that you're asking so that you're figuring out the cost of a meal, because everyone's going to spend a different amount. All right, so that's basically the gist of a statistical question. It basically has to anticipate that there will be a variety of different answers. Now, next week, we are going to be starting a statistics project. And the basis of this statistics project is you guys are going to come up with your own statistical question. You are going to survey your classmates, okay? And you are going to analyze the data that you get. So next week, we're going to be talking about how to analyze that data. But before we can even do that, you guys need to come up with your own statistical question, okay? So that's going to be your assignment for today, to come up with 3 different statistical questions. Now, the only rule that I have, okay, there's one rule for these statistical questions. Okay, the answers, so meaning what you're going to be, the feedback that you're going to be getting from your classmates, the answers must be numerical. And what I mean by that, okay, we are going to be analyzing things, adding things, subtracting things, dividing things, multiplying our data. And in order to do that, we need to have numbers, okay? So I don't want you to ask a statistical question of what color is your hair, because yes, it is statistical, but you can't find the average of the number of blonde, okay? Because it's impossible to do that. So what I'm asking you to do is to ask a statistical question, or come up with one that when someone answers it, they're going to give you a number. Okay, so a little tip that I'm going to tell you is maybe to start your question with how many, okay? In the past, people have come up with several questions that start with how many for statistical questions. How many pets do you own? How many cousins do you have? How many shoes do you own? How many plants do you have in your house? How many TVs do you have in your house? You can go on and on and on with a question that starts with how many. And if you ask someone one of those questions, how many pets do you have? One person may say 3, one person may say 1, one person may say 12. You are going to get a variety of different answers. And with that data that you're going to collect from your classmates, that is what we are going to analyze next week. Okay? So, in your classroom, after you finish this video, there is going to be a Google form. Okay? So, you're going to complete the Google form, and you're going to come up with 3 different questions. And the reason why I'm telling you to come up with 3 different questions is because I don't want any of my students to have the same question, okay? Because we want to try to come up with as many different statistical questions as we can, and there's many, many, many to choose from. So you're going to come up with 3 different questions, okay? And you're going to go from your most favorite, number 1 choice, number 2 choice, and then number 3 choice. And again, 3 different options. The faster you get that question in and the faster that I approve it and make sure that you're good to go, okay, the better chance you have of keeping that question. But if you answer the question or you fill in your question really late and someone else asks the same question, they're going to get it first. So if you ask how many cousins do you have, but someone already asked that, then I'll go to your second question that you came up with instead. All right. So that's what you're going to think of today is you're going to come up with 3 different questions. I'm just going to look over them and I'm just going to need to approve them afterward. All right. So come up with 3 different statistical questions. We are going to be using the data for these questions during the next maybe week and a half. So I would maybe come up with a question that you're interested in. Okay, come up with a question that you like because you're going to be using the data for the next week, 2 weeks. All right, so come up with those 3 questions in that Google form in the classroom. If you do have any questions, please let me know and have a wonderful day. Bye, 6th grade.